welcome back to my channel. If you're coming by for the first time, you're welcome as well. This is Virtual Grace. Thank you so much for coming. If you've not subscribed, click on the subscribe button, tap on the bell, and join the Bird Loves family. Here, as promised in my previous video, I'm back with a video. This time around is to answer some questions that some people have asked me in my DMs, personally, about traveling to Ethiopia, especially if you are an African or a Nigerian who intends on traveling to Ethiopia. This video will be helpful to you as I attempt to answer some of the questions based on my experience having traveled to Ethiopia. Okay, so stay watching and remember to subscribe. Okay, first of all, thank you for your love, for your support, and everything. Amasegenalo, I can't thank you all enough. Thank you so much. First of all, these are the things you need to know if you intend on traveling to Ethiopia. Number one, which is first and foremost, is your visa. You need to check if your country requires a visa to travel to Ethiopia. Being a Nigerian, I require a visa to visit Ethiopia. So what I did was I went on the Ethiopian immigration website. It's linked in the description box down below. Click on it to check if you need a visa. For me, like I said, I needed a visa, so I went to the immigration website and I applied for a visa. And there are options that you have to choose from: a tourist visa, business visa, and what have you. For me, I went on a tourist visa, so I applied and I had the option of getting my visa on arrival. I filled in all the information I needed to fill and made payment. That brings me to the payment. The payment was about $72 for a 90-day tourist visa to Ethiopia. I made the payment online and I got my visa sent to me via email. Okay, that is the soft copy. And when I landed in Ethiopia, I went straight to the visa on arrival queue, handed my international passport. I presented the soft copy of my visa, and the immigration officer checked everything, stamped me in, and voila, I was in Ethiopia having a good time, a swell time, man. So that's basically it. Just go on the website, check if your country requires a visa. If your country does not require a visa, of course, just pack your bags, buy your ticket, and you'll be in Ethiopia having a good time. But if your country requires a visa, of course you need to apply, and some of the things you need to present while applying for your visa include like an address, an address in Ethiopia where you are going to stay. It's very important. You have to sort it out. If you are going to couchsurf, if you are going to stay in a hotel, wherever it is you intend on staying, you have to present the physical address and the phone number. Yes, the phone number of the accommodation where you are going to stay. Those are like the very important information you need to fill in when applying for your visa. Another thing you need to know is the fact that you have to do a COVID test. I mean, there is no need even mentioning this. We all know that we are in a pandemic now, and many countries require that you do a COVID test before arrival in their country, and Ethiopia is no exception. So if you intend on traveling to Ethiopia, bear it in mind that you need to do a COVID test. I must say, personally, when I landed in Ethiopia from Congo, I wasn't asked to present my COVID test result, but it is a requirement for you to even board a plane to that country, so it's better to play on the safe side. And I guess the emphasis wasn't much on the COVID test result because they knew that that was already taken care of, while boarding, so there wasn't need for them to demand for it. Maybe that was just my own experience. Maybe they've been demanding for results from other people, but it's better safe than sorry. So if you intend on traveling, do your COVID test, have your result, hard copy, soft copy, whichever way, whichever format, just have it ready so that if they demand it of you, you can present it. And of course, you have to present it before you board the plane. So when you get to Ethiopia and you are leaving Ethiopia, of course you have to do another COVID test before you go to whichever country you are going to. That's like the standard operating procedure now for international travels. Me being a Nigerian, I had to do a COVID test before leaving Ethiopia back home to Nigeria. And where I went to do my COVID test in Addis Ababa was at the Washington Medical Center. That's like the popular one, the one at Bole, opposite the Rwanda embassy. So you go there, you make payment, and you have your samples taken. This was my experience basically, guys. So I just did my COVID test. It's actually very quick. It didn't take time. Once you get there, you first make a copy of the data page of your international passport. They write on it your local phone number, and then they assign a registration number to you. After that, you queue and make payment. If you want your result in 24 hours, then you pay 1,200 bill, which is about $33. If you want it express, that is within 6 hours, you pay around 5,000 to 6,000 bill, and you get your result in like 6 hours. Okay, so I've done that. Once you make your payment, you now go to the sample collection room. They take your samples, and then you come back for your results depending on when you want your result. And after doing my COVID test in Addis Ababa, I had to make payment again to the Nigerian government, and there's a website link in the description box down below where you fill in your COVID test results and all of your travel history, and then you make payment. And that payment is for post-arrival COVID tests in Nigeria. So if you intend on coming to Nigeria, this will also be helpful to you. You make sure you make that payment on the website, you fill it, make the payment. You have to pay before you even board, because when you make the payment online, you are going to obtain a QR code. Here's when it gets tricky. When you finish making the payment, there's option on the dashboard for get QR code. You have to click on it and have your QR code downloaded on your phone, or sent to your email. There are two options: either send to your email or obtain your QR code. I strongly advise that you click on obtain QR code. Once you do that, you're able to download the QR code on your phone and have it. If you wait for it to be sent to your email, it might get delayed and you might not be able to board, because that's a prerequisite for you to even board to come to Nigeria. So don't be caught in the whole mess. Make sure you obtain your QR code and have it handy, because they will ask of you the QR code before you board to come to Nigeria. This here is very important as well. You need to understand that Africans, we have our languages which we really cherish, we love. I have my language personally. And so when you travel to Africa, or as an African traveling within Africa, you need to understand that not all Africans speak English. So when you travel to Ethiopia, for instance, there are some Ethiopians who do not speak English, and that is totally normal, okay? If you walk on the street or you go somewhere in the public restaurants, bars, market square, public transport, anywhere, and you find Ethiopians who do not speak English, it's normal. Move on to the next person who speaks English, who can help you find your way around or help you do whatever it is you want to do, okay? Don't go sounding superior and feeling like, oh, this person does not speak English in this 21st century. Are you kidding me? No, please. It is absolutely normal. Some of them speak only their language and Amharic, and that's okay, okay? I didn't have a problem with that. And that was how I was able to maneuver my way within Ethiopia and have a good time, the best of my time there. That said, another thing you need to know, if you are traveling to Ethiopia and you're a content creator, know that flying a drone is not allowed if you do not have a license in the country. So if you have a drone and you intend on flying the drone there, please know that you can't fly your drone in Ethiopia, because you are not licensed to fly your drone in Ethiopia. Personally, I didn't fly my drone in Ethiopia because of this reason. I don't have a license to fly in Ethiopia, so I obey the law of the country. I never, in fact, since I got there, I didn't even bring my drone out for once. It was in the bag as packed as it was when I got there. I didn't fly it until I left the country, so bear that in mind. If you have to fly a drone, then you have to maybe look for a local who has the license and can fly the drone to fly the drone, and give you the drone shots. Otherwise, just make do with ground footages and footages that you can take around, and just obey the law of the country until you leave. Okay, don't go violating the country or assume that it's okay for you to fly your drone in the country when it's actually not okay. Ask questions. I did ask questions, and that was information I got, so I respected that. Okay, so bear that in mind. It's very important. Don't think you can cut corners because there are police officers on the street. They're everywhere. You never know. You might be stopped if you are seen flying a drone, and you might be asked to present a license. And if you do not have a license, you never know, you might get in trouble. It's better to stay out of trouble by simply obeying. Okay, this particular one might seem petty and funny, but it's very important. Like, it's very, very important. If you are traveling to Ethiopia from a country that uses this sort of wall sockets, then you are definitely going to need this one when you get to Ethiopia. Okay, actually in Nigeria, this is what we use. This is how our sockets are. So we have these sort of adapters to plug to the wall socket and then charge our devices. If the devices have like two plugs like this or three plugs like this. But when I got to Ethiopia, actually Congo as well, these are the wall sockets that they use. I actually bought this in Congo, but was very useful in Ethiopia because Ethiopia also uses this sort of wall socket. So bear it in mind when you get to Ethiopia from a country that uses this sort of wall sockets. You have to buy an adapter like this to help you charge your devices and to be able to move around, do your things with your devices well charged. It's very, very important. Don't say Grace didn't tell you. I've told you now. Prepare yourself. Okay, yeah. Sharing is caring. I love you guys, so I want you to have the most of your experience when you visit Ethiopia, because that's exactly what I did. I had a blast. I can't say that enough. I'm a Seginalo Ethiopia. Another thing which is very important is the fact that food is abundant in Ethiopia. For a lot of people, when they travel, one of the things that they really are concerned about is the food. Like, oh, what do I eat? How is the food? And all. Food is abundant in Ethiopia. We have different sort of restaurants that serve local Ethiopian foods, that serve international foods, like from other African countries, from European restaurants. A lot to choose from, but the commonly found ones on the streets are usually like the Ethiopian restaurants, the restaurants that serve Ethiopian food, like the injera, the full, the feta, the a lot, like just so many. So you have choices to make from. But I also encourage, when you visit another country, like you visit Ethiopia, try the Ethiopian food. You're going to love it. Like, you will love it. Okay, but if you still feel like eating food from your country, you can Google on the internet, ask questions, and you could be directed to where you can find the kind of food you want to eat. Like, some Kenyans asked me questions like, can I find what's the name, can I find ugali? Yes, you can find ugali. I actually said, when you go to Union restaurant that's around Addis Ababa museum, where they are constructing the new Mascal Square, you will be served ugali. Okay, so it's like that. Even Nigerian restaurant, your Miss Kichi is just adjacent what do you call it, African Union. So you have choices. There are Japanese restaurants, Caribbean restaurants, a lot, like I said. So you can never lack what you eat, never. Okay. For accommodation, you don't even have a problem. You have hotels, you have guest houses, you have pensions. Hostels, like for me, I stayed in Madvavet hostel, and Madvavet hostel is in Hayahulet, close to Bole, just a few minutes drive from the airport. You get there, it's comfortable. Amazing hosts there, Beza and Neba. They help you get around. They tell you where to go to get food, and all sort of things. They are really very helpful. So if you feel like staying in a hostel, Madvavet hostel link is in the description box down below. Click on it to make your reservation, and then you, of course, hotels, if you have money and you want to pay for hotels, there are a lot of hotels in Addis Ababa. You cannot lack where to stay. This right here was based on my personal experience, and I'm sharing with you. Just know that when you go to Ethiopia, you are always going to stand out as a foreigner, like a different person, regardless of where you're coming from. And it's even more obvious when you're coming from like the Western world, Europe, America, Britain, everywhere, because of the obvious, skin color. But even if you're visiting from other African countries, you're always going to stand out. I don't know how that happens. I was always surprised when walking on the streets, people are just like calling Nigeria, Nigeria. I'm like, how did these people know I'm from Nigeria? So I don't know. Ethiopians, drop a comment. Is there a way you distinguish people from other African countries? I feel like maybe because other Africans physically look quite different from some Ethiopians, because there are some Ethiopians who are obviously more light complexioned, more slim, and or there are those sort of distinct physical features that like stand you apart from a typical Ethiopian. But I just don't know how it was easy for them to put me in Nigeria without me even having conversations with them. So that's something that I really didn't understand, So just know that you're always going to stand out, and it's okay. It's okay. All right. Just go there, have fun, enjoy, and when they ask you where you come from, it's okay if you feel like telling them you are from whichever country. If it's not, if you don't feel like saying it, nobody has a gun or anything to your head to answer. Just keep going, keep moving, have fun. And last but definitely not the least, like I mentioned earlier, some Ethiopians do not speak nor understand English, and that's totally fine. So I figured out that there are some basic phrases or words that you need just to get around, on the streets, in the marketplace, on the public bus, anywhere. These phrases would like help you maybe start a conversation, ask questions, and just get around. One of which is salam. That's like hi. You just say hi to somebody. I loved saying it. Hi, salam, and it just makes everybody happy. You're going and having a good time. Another one is ciao. Ciao is like bye. So bye when you're leaving somebody. Ciao. That's bye. Another one is sentinel. Ethiopians, hope I said that right. And sentinel basically means how much. So if you want to buy something, you want to inquire of the price, you just say sentinel. Maybe the person selling might tell you hamsa bir, and hamsa bir is like 50 bir, so you just inquire, haggle, whatever it is, and then you are able to buy what you want to buy. Last but not the least, which is my favorite, is amaseganalo, and amaseganalo means thank you. Amaseganalo, thank you. You say this to anybody, and then they will reply you ma amaseganalo. I think I got that. Did I get that right, Ethiopians? I loved it so much. There was this particular girl who always like came to deliver food for me each time I placed order, and she would be like, when I tell her amaseganalo, she would say ma amaseganalo, and I loved it so much. So basically that's it, and from me is amaseganalo. Thank you for everything, for watching. What do you think? Drop a comment. Is there any other thing we need to know before we travel to Ethiopia? Ethiopians, drop a comment in the comment section. Let's know. Remember to subscribe if you've not subscribed already. Tap on the bell to get notified each time I upload a new video, and don't forget to share this video. Okay, share, let more people get this information so they can prepare adequately before traveling to Ethiopia. From me again, Amasagenalo. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.